This weekend, I'm heading to a last-minute trip to Arizona because if you have been following along, you know that one of my best friends, Hannah Moody, passed away unexpectedly during a hike. Not even 2 weeks into moving into Miami, and I'm being called back to Arizona. This is going to be a very emotional but fulfilling weekend. I've never experienced grief before, which is crazy because a week before Hannah's passing, I felt like I was going to experience grief for the first time. I'm so fortunate to have built the community I did because right when I landed, I was immediately met with my girlfriends to grab some acai bowls while they poured into me to prepare for this heavy weekend. It is the next morning. I'm staying at my girlfriend Nafsika's house where it just ended up working out so well. And it's wild to see how God moves. Where I was originally going to stay at wasn't going to work out because it just wasn't the place to be in a grieving state. She was gonna have guests over. Then I found out my friend Nafsika is actually going out of town the same weekend that I'm coming in. And so she offered up her place while she's leaving. And not only that, I needed a ride to the airport, and when I was landing, she was actually dropping off her friend at the same time that I was landing. So she just waited an extra like 10 minutes and I was out of the airport. And now I have a place to stay without worrying about, paying for a room, for accommodations. She lent me her car so I get to drive around and go to all of these events to honor Hannah. And I get the privacy and space to be able to grieve properly, distance myself from any social events. It's just gonna be very packed, a lot of emotions, a lot of people, a lot of energy. And I've never experienced grief before for someone close to me. So this is just gonna be new. I'm just so in awe with how God has orchestrated this entire thing. Staying here at my girlfriend's house. This whole weekend is gonna be very heavy. I know that all of these people who are gonna gather in honor of her this weekend to celebrate her birthday, it's just going to be such a beautiful thing to witness and a testament of how beautiful she was and is and how much lives she's impacted. I know that she wouldn't want us to be mourning and sadness for her when she gets to be right next to Dad, I'm gonna make some breakfast. I am trying to stick to one of the other core lessons that God has been teaching me, which is about stewardship. And so I went to go get a couple of things from Sprouts, save money on food: turkey carnitas, sweet potatoes, herb roasted Brussels sprouts for the entire week. And this is including dessert because I obviously got ice cream and I got a little bit of coffee and some like hydration things. But I total spent $82 and I'll be here for 5 days. I'm gonna eat. I am gonna try and work a little bit today. I do need to get a couple things done. And then at 2, I'm gonna meet up with a couple of the other girls and we're gonna go help pack up Hannah's things. I'm on my way to go to Hannah's apartment and go through her stuff. I've definitely felt myself choke up a couple times already, but I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to keep it together because I'm borrowing my girlfriend's car and I can't see when I cry. We're here gathering all of her things.
Such her era, both, her fashion, but also
her dresses. I love this little bow.
Because I wanted both.
I feel like this is like Hannah right here.
Yeah.
Being in Hannah's room was such a surreal feeling. One minute we were crying, the next we were laughing. Such a contrast of emotions all at once. Then we all went to go to Hannah's dinner party at a house where we all used to party at, and this is the same place where we all met. She passed a week before her birthday, so we decided to still keep her dinner plans, spent time with one another, remembering Hannah, and listened to her favorite songs.
Look at you. You look gorgeous in red.
Hannah's story was being shared on the news, and her walk with God was a focal point of what was covered.
31-year-old Hannah Moody is speaking exclusively with our Lillian Danna-Gift.
Although I miss her, it's clear the impact that her life has made while she was alive and still in her death. I'm gearing gearing up to go on this hike. I'm gonna eat a little something just to make sure that I'm fueled. It's gonna be a silent hike, which I'm so grateful for because there's gonna be a lot of people there. It's gonna be nice to just not have to hear other people's commentary. You know, like last night we got to be with the core people who really were close to Hannah. I know that people are just gonna be basically talking about the same things that we talked about yesterday. The Hike for Hannah shirt. How cute. I slept in it last night. I also slept in Hannah's little hair tie that I got from her place, and me and Hannah were the same size shoes, and I didn't know that. When we went to go grab her stuff, I grabbed her boots, and I'm gonna hike in her boots today. It's such a weird mix of emotions. Like last night we were just dancing and celebrating and crying and laughing, and like it's just so many different emotions. Thank you, God, for her beautiful, beautiful spirit here on earth, and we're so grateful for her. Get ready. It's so early. Okay, walking up to the trailhead. There's all the girls. Dear Hannah, happy birthday to you. We honored her passing by having a day in the life of Hannah, so we did all of her favorite things. We went on a hike, we went to have coffee and treats at her favorite coffee shop, and me and the girls went back to the Airbnb to get the girl band back together and dance and party, because that's what Hannah would have wanted to do. Then to finish the day, we went to sit at Tempe Town Lake where we watched the sunset and said goodbye to Hannah and happy birthday one last time. Then the girls and I went to go have breakfast the next morning, and I thought to myself how nice it's been to have all of the girls back together. We all live in different states, so very rarely do we get to see each other anymore, and I can't help but believe that this is part of what Hannah wanted for us all along, to reconnect and spend time with one another. As I approached this weekend, I had no idea what grief was supposed to look like. I thought it was just tears, silence, and pain. But this entire weekend, grief looked like dancing in her honor. It looked like deep belly laughs between the cries, holding each other tighter than we ever have before. It was messy, it was beautiful, but it was holy. I've never experienced loss like this, but when you believe in God, you believe that death isn't the end. You believe she's more alive now than ever before, that she's dancing with the angels while we dance here for her. And somehow, that belief makes it all just a little easier to breathe, a little lighter to carry. We miss you, Hannah. We love you, and we celebrate you.